What's going on, everybody? Crazy Dog back with another Browns video for you guys today. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about 5 potential wide receiver targets for the Cleveland Browns. As you look at our receiving core as it stands right now, I mean, you got Amari Cooper, you got DPJ, and after that, you got Anthony Schwartz and David Bell. I mean, you even got Mike Harley, who showed out recently. I honestly think Mike Harley will make this team. No lie. I think he will make this team. You got Jamarcus Bradley, who's been here for a little while. And then after that, you don't really have a whole lot. So I could really see the Browns maybe looking elsewhere and maybe trying to improve our receiving core via free agent signing or a trade. But before I get into talking about that, got some roster news to talk about. Now, as you guys know, the roster cutdown day, where teams have to get their roster down to 80 players, is tomorrow afternoon. Well, the Browns said, screw that deadline. We're taking care of business now. As, according to Jake Trotter, and I quote, Browns have waived 5 players. Punter Joseph Charlton, so that means Corey Bjorkes, has officially won the Browns punter job. Safety Luther Kirk IV, didn't really think he was going to make it. Offensive tackle Wyatt Miller, who was only here for like a week. Cornerback Parnell Motley, which I actually called during my game stream, if you watch that. And then tight end Marcus Santos Silva. So he's the first of the hyphenated last names to get the axe. And I know Texas Tech fans are not too happy about that. But he could return. You never know. Maybe they bring him back on the practice squad somehow. I wouldn't mind it. But yeah, he's the first of the hyphenated last names to get cut. And I already know what Browns fans will talk about on Twitter. Where's Josh Rosen? Well, they're probably going to keep him around for this week, and then after this final preseason game, they're saying bye-bye. They're saying, see you later, alligator. They're going to yeet him back out onto the street. Kind of like what happened in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You know, when Will got kicked out of the house. He goes, yee! This goes flying out of the house, man. That was crazy. But, yeah. And so, I'm sure there's other names out there, too. I know a lot of Browns fans are talking about Lavert Hill somehow staying on this team. I mean, he could still get cut, you know. You could still see moves. You know, just because these 5 guys got cut now doesn't mean you're not going to stop seeing moves. We could see guys get cut and then we add some more guys. Rosters are always fluid. Your position is never safe, especially if you're on the bottom of the roster, like Lavert Hill is. But, yeah, and then I got some other interesting news to talk about. Now, this comes from Mary Kay Cabot in reference to our joint practices against the Eagles, as apparently Kevin Stefanski wouldn't be opposed to going to Philly for joint practices with them sometime soon. As Mary Kay tweeted this, and I quote, Hashtag Stefanski says he wouldn't mind heading to Philly next summer for joint practices with the Eagles. Both teams were happy with the way it went here. Great work, no fights, 2 good teams. Love to hear it, especially the no fights thing. You know, that's good to see. You love to see it. I wouldn't mind, you know, having the Eagles host us for joint practices next year. But yeah, with that being said, let's talk about these 5 receivers. So the first one is a really interesting one because not only is he a pretty good receiver, but he's also a fairly decent kick returner, which, in case you've been living under a rock for the past couple weeks, the Browns lost Jakeem Grant for the year. So we could definitely use a new returner. And that guy happens to be Tavon Austin. I can already tell you Browns fans would be like, what him? I think he'd be a good return man option, especially. He was really good with the Rams early on in his career. But as of late, he really hasn't had too many opportunities. I think he could do well with all the opportunities that he would get with us. Now, the next one is Albert Wilson, another former Dolphin. I believe he did play with Jacoby Brissett in Miami. So there's some familiarity there. Then you have a guy that Browns fans have wanted all offseason, and that is Will Fuller. It's pretty obvious why he's on this, because of his familiarity with Deshaun Watson, and I think even Jacoby too. But yeah, mainly Deshaun Watson. Yeah. And then you have two receivers that I think the Browns could acquire via trade. The first one, Darius Slayton, who a lot of Browns fans have apparently, grown to love, as a trade target. I could see it, to be honest. And then the final one, Eagles wide receiver Jalen Reagor. Now, if this happens, I could see it being Kareem Hunt to the Eagles for Jalen Reagor and maybe a draft pick. That's my honest opinion. I would hate to see Kareem Hunt go, but you got to understand the situation. He wants to get paid, and right now he's our number 2 running back. And let's see, the performance of Jerome Ford so far might have made him expendable. Yeah, I could see it. I think Jerome Ford has made Kareem Hunt expendable. Mm-hmm. I mean, we got Kareem Hunt. Yeah, that's nice. I know Nick Chubb wants him to stick around, but as they always say, money talks. But if you ask me, though, I don't think Kareem Hunt's going anywhere right now. We're not going to freaking trade him right before the season. I think we could trade him at the deadline, but I don't know. Maybe they shock us and, they come to an agreement on like another 2 or 3 year deal just to keep him around with Nick Chubb. Because my God, man, Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, I've said this many times, they are, without a doubt, the best running back duo in the NFL. Now, the thing is, Kareem Hunt's coming off an injury. He didn't do a whole lot last year because he couldn't really stay on the field because of injuries. So, yeah, if he can stay on the field this year, oh my God. And he's definitely going to be on the field a lot with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. Because, in my opinion, Kevin's going to do what he did last year. We're going to rely heavily on the run. We're not going to want to put a lot of pressure on Jacoby Brissett. Brissett's essentially a game manager. He's like, I think he's better than Case Keenum. Like, he can throw the ball deep and everything. He is a bit of a runner, too. Like, don't sleep on his ability to take off if needed. But yeah, I think we're going to rely heavily on the run once again this year. Mm-hmm. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of these 5 receivers. Are there any receivers that you think we could go after that aren't listed? Maybe like a Kenny Stills or something? I know Andy Isabella was an option before. I think he's going to stick around, though, because DeAndre Hopkins is out for a while, so they need all the help they can get over there. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, if the Browns make any roster moves, of course I'll make a video on it. And we'll see what happens as the final preseason game's coming up. Of course, I'll have my preseason preview video out tomorrow, as usual. And then see what else happens. But with that being said, I'm Crazy Dog 99. Let's go Browns, and regular season's almost here. I'm freaking ready. Let's go Browns, and I'm out.